guys, Gemma and Jess here and back again for another episode of Two Girls, One Gaming Topic, and today we are asking whether or not it is worth trading in video games both on a kind of national chain level, so Game and GameStop,
right,
and at a kind of local retro game store or your local gaming store level market, whatever it may be.
Right, small business.
Small business, there we go Jess, thank you for that ad. So as ever guys, smash your comments below. We're going to talk about ours. It's something I feel quite passionate about, Jess, and I don't know how you feel about it genuinely, because we tend to go into these topics reasonably blind on what each other thinks to make it a little bit more fluid. So
right,
for you, like, are you bothered? Is it worth it? Like, what are your like initial thoughts?
Even if I'm not a massive fan of the game I bought, I have a hard time letting it go. But I mean, there are some times that it's worth it. Like if you have a game that's retained its value, and you still, you know, like Zelda, Mario games,
yes,
you know, exclusives, that sort of thing, and you really honestly don't like it and you're never going to play it and you don't care if it's a part of your collection, then you might as well put it towards something you're going to enjoy. However, I think most games aren't worth it. You know, if you're gonna go to Game, for instance, and get like £1 or 50 pence or, you know, or $1 in the US, whatever, yeah, then what the hell is the sense in that? And if you are gonna trade them in, I prefer to do it at local shops, like for instance, you know, small businesses, because they're the ones that are actually gonna benefit from it, and they will give you a fair price. I've noticed compared to like Game, it doesn't matter. Like they don't care, the people that take it in, they just have to look at a computer screen and see how much they're allowed to give for it.
Right, so it's literally scan, they have no kind of leeway into what they're going to give, scan, and this is the kind of set price nationally if you're going to somewhere like Game or GameStop sort of thing.
Right.
Whereas you're saying like at a local business, which again is definitely more preferable, they can kind of barter a bit, they can knock you down a little bit if they don't feel that it's going to be worth it for them.
Right, if they look at it and say, this is a crap copy, or I got like 500 of these, I don't need any more FIFA 16.
Like FIFA.
You know,
yeah.
They'll tell you the truth about something. But if you're a regular customer of theirs, then, you know, it helps.
Absolutely, yeah. So like with like, so you mentioned like Zelda and Mario, so games
or any exclusives, you know, any like PlayStation exclusives, or, you know, anything like that.
So like high value games, I think you would...
Games that hold their value.
Yeah, games
retain
that hold
their value.
Yeah, because I think you've mentioned like FIFA never holds its value. If you're going to trade it in, I'd trade it in as soon as possible, because otherwise you're going to get absolutely nothing back on your trade if you wait in a year,
right,
and putting it towards the next FIFA. I think there are definitely games that hold the value in terms of trade, and I think there's two ways of looking at it. There's trade for cash and trade for trade. Right. Like store credit, obviously you're going to get more on your store credit, and I just want to talk about a personal experience I've had recently whereby Game, and I'm using Game as an example because there aren't any really local retro game stores around here, so that if I want a game, I'm going to Game or the supermarket, or I'm buying online. If there was a retro game store down the road, I would use that. So in Game at the minute, they're doing this thing called the Elite Card membership. So it's a step up from like a standard membership card. On the standard you get, I think it's 2% back on your trade-ins, you get like points. Whereas with the Elite you get 10% back. It's a £36 upfront payment for 12 months. So you're thinking, you know, you're shelling out that 36 quid. But if you buy from there all the time, like if you buy a game that's 45 quid on the PS4 or Xbox One,
right,
you're getting £4.50 back straight away. Alright, maybe a couple of days after that, but you're getting £4.50 straight away. Now I've already made my money back on that card triple. Also with like, or if you buy a console like a PS4 Pro, you're getting 35 quid back.
And you don't even buy all the time from Game. That's the funny thing, is like you shop at all different, like, you know, locals and corporate game stores. So you know, and you said we don't really have any game shops. I mean, we do. We have like, say, John's, and you know, you can go to the market or whatever.
I wouldn't go there to trade.
I wouldn't, because they don't really need it. That's not like the only thing that they deal in. So.
And they're not specific game shops like John Shaw's, the second-hand shop.
They're fabulous to find like treasures in, though.
Yeah, but it's a thread. It's a small thread of their like larger business. So I'm not as fussed. I'm talking about specific game shops, something like The Amazing Console Yourself up in Yorkshire. Shout out to them, by the way.
Release Games in Morecambe.
Release Games in Morecambe. Fabulous, amazing stores. But
those are my two favorites.
Yeah, oh yeah, without a doubt. So, you know, like with the Elite membership, you get 50% more trade-in. So if I go and trade, say like, my trading game's worth like 20 quid for trade, not cash, for trade. With the Elite membership, I'm going to get 40 quid. And so I think for me, it really does work out. I don't think it necessarily works out on trades on a standard non-Elite membership. It's kind of changed my view a little bit, this Elite membership has, if you're going to trade at corporate. So let me know if you've heard of that. And I think GameStop now offer it as well. I think I saw on somebody else's video.
Yeah, they're all from the same, you know, original company, so.
I think sometimes it's really difficult letting go, isn't it? You know, if you've got a game, and even if you don't play it, it can be really difficult to let it go. But I think when it's gone, typically, like, I mean, I don't trade in many games at all. Is it something you used to do? You know, when you were like back in the States and you had that quite a decent retro game collection?
No, I didn't.
Were you a trader?
I wasn't, but my brother was. Now,
okay.
My brother loved trading in games because all he would do is he would play the game and then instantly want to play another one, so he would go to GameStop and he would, you know, trade it in towards other ones, or he would save a whole bunch at once and wait till he could get something he wanted. Okay. But that was because we couldn't really afford brand new games,
right?
You know. Yeah. So, I mean, he's younger than me, but I was an adult by then. But yeah. Anyway, you know, so for people that are not worried about building a collection, then it is worth it. But it's only worth it if you do it as soon as you're done playing with it, and it's still recent. Because if you wait like a year and that game's been sold a zillion times now and nobody cares about it, then you're not gonna, you know, and say your local game shop or, you know, game stores or game shop, whatever store you go to. Like I said before, if they have a whole lot of those copies, then the value of your trade-in goes
instantly.
In. Yeah, it's over. You might as well just keep it.
Absolutely, yeah. Just keep hold of it. It's going to cost you more to trade it in, like fuel, taking it down to flipping store just to flipping trade it in. So
I mean, if you need to trade in games for cash and you have to, then that's a whole different story.
Yeah, we're not even going to go down the CEX route. So in terms of kind of like, if you have any local retro game stores around you, do you prefer to trade in at local or can corporations? And I think you've already made a good point. It is worth it for me, I think, and certainly for you, as you've said, to trade in more locally rather than at the kind of corporation stores. So I mean, why would you favour that? Is it something that you feel that you would gain from, or they would gain, or it would be like a mutual gain?
I think, well, one, it is mutual gain, helps build relationships.
Yeah. Which is important.
Yes, and two, because you're giving back into your own community.
Okay.
So, you know, it's like that circle of life. I mean, don't get me wrong, you know, it's not that like corporations don't give back, they do, but it's in a different way. It's like they pick and choose what organizations they want to give back to, and they could be blowing that money in anywhere. Whereas your local community, if you're supporting your local game shop owners, then they're also spending money in that community because that's where they live or that's where they work, and it just kind of goes around, like one hand helps another. I scratch your back, you scratch my back, kind of thing. And even though you may not see it directly, that's how it ends up working. So I feel like if you're going to trade in games, you should at least give a shot to the small business or small traders and that sort of thing. So
and I think as well, it's no secret that on things like PS4 and Xbox One games, if you've got a local game store that sells current gen stuff, the markup on that is very minimal. So I read somewhere in a store, it was one I've done it. It was we get the same sales and exchange. I think somebody was complaining that she was selling the Crash Bandicoot for a certain price, and I think it was I don't know how much it was, like £38 she had it for sale for, something like that. And somebody commented and said, well, you can buy this in the supermarket for like 35 or whatever. And she said, well, we only make £3 on it, was her point. We only make £3 on it. So, you know, to them, that £3 could be like really valuable because it is a local store and you can never really guarantee the footfall that's going to come through on, you know. And so I think where you can, where you can buy your PS4, your Xbox Ones, and certainly where you can trade in, because again, a lot of people will take in some old retro games that they care nothing for, and they'll trade it for the PS4 and the Xbox One. But then that's where that pile of retro games can then be sold to make more money for the local retro game stores.
Right. I mean, I wouldn't go into all business here because you could be giving away some secrets. But
I'm not. But that is again, that's basically what she was talking about. Like she was, you know, it's something that she's kind of said. So, you know, it is what it is. I think it's important. I just wish we had a little bit more around these parts. So, but that's my 2 cents on it anyway. I'm sure
we do now that Nina's at Quirky Sales and Exchange and. You know, you have John and that sort of thing. Yeah. So, but I do think retro game stores, and this could be a topic in itself, but retro game stores that do not sell current gen,
mate,
you're gonna struggle.
Mate,
you're gonna struggle.
Oh, man.
You really do need to have both.
I agree.
Because they work hand in hand.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you get some people to walk in the door that with current gen that you would have never just selling retro.
And they walk in, they wanted that copy of Uncharted, but they end up walking out with like a copy of Star Wing on the Super Nintendo, or like a DS game for the kid or something, you know what I mean?
Or like you said, they come in with those trades and
Defo.
You know, for a current gen one. Yeah. So, and then you make more money off of trade-in. So, and that's business. And everybody goes, oh, they shouldn't be trying to make money off of you. And oh, come on, it's a business. Do you go to work for free?
And I know. Everybody's got to make some money somewhere, guys. Flip it, like, you know. But yeah, you're right. And I'm glad you've kind of brought that up. I know it's a topic in itself, and I don't feel it's digressing too much, Jess. But definitely, I think, you know, where trades are kind of involved, if you don't sell PS4 and Xbox One, like I personally feel that if I had a game store, I'd be selling every single genre of game. Period. End of. Absolutely. There's a market out there.
You own a game store. I mean,
yeah. And by the way, I will link in the cards the tour for this room if you want to check it out, and it'll be pinned in the top comment. But yeah, it
looks like a game store in here,
yeah,
but
it's cool.
It's not.
But yeah, I think game stores that don't sell, I'm put off. If I go to a game store and there's no, it's just all retro, I'm mildly put off.
No, I like it. I think it's great. I just think it's a bad business decision.
Fair play, fair play. But let us know what you guys think. We've kind of talked, I think we've had some really good points in this video, Jess. Trades, definitely we've mentioned the Elite card and whether or not that's worth it. I think it is. I've already made my money back. Trading versus game corporate versus local, there's definitely more value in local for both parties involved, so I think that's important. But let us know what you think, and let us know some of your experiences, good and bad, in the comment section below, because we always like, you know, you guys to add some value to every video I put out, and certainly we put out in this playlist. So Jess, is there anything else that you want to say? You always bring some cracking points up, so thanks for your time. Is there anything else you want to... Have we missed anything is what I'm
No, I just want to go back to the point of, you know, if you go to a local shop and you're not happy with the price that they're giving you, don't get nasty with them. They do, like I said before, they do have to pay their bills, you know, and not just, you know, they have business bills and personal bills that they have to pay out of all of this. So they do have to make some money. Don't get, you know, annoyed and frustrated and act like they're trying to rob you. They're just doing their job.
Absolutely. Okay, well, I think that's a good point too.
Some people do, they get upset, oh, I was only offered £5 and I could have got 10 for this on eBay. Then sell it on eBay.
Yeah, I mean, there's a place for everything. There's a place for everything. For some people, you might hate eBay.
I don't like it.
I don't mind it. I think it's a buyer's market. I've said this in many videos. If you want something that bad, you'll pay it even if you pay in that little bit more. There have been times in the past where I've gone to a game store, it's actually, well, more the markets really, and I know, like for Cooler World down on the PS1, I paid £30 for that. Some of you guys rightly said you can buy it cheaper on eBay, you can buy it cheaper in CEX. At that point, I didn't care because I wanted that game enough to feel perfectly justified to pay £30 for it.
And they have
like,
to justify
perfectly justified. And you know what? It's helping them out because they can then keep that business kind of going. So I don't care.
Plus they have larger overhead. If you're just selling on eBay, you don't have the overhead of having to pay for a market stall or shop brick and mortar. So
some people's livelihood is eBay. But, literally. But again, that could be another topic. Maybe.
I think we have touched on this before.
Yeah.
I could go on and on.
I like this playlist, man. It just goes all over. I love the fluidity we've got in here, Jess. It's awesome.
It's just because I'm a business person, so I know the other side of things.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
both points of view as a consumer and as somebody who is a small business.
Yeah, absolutely. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Again, Two Girls One Gaming Topic playlist is all in the description. Every playlist is covered right there for you guys to go and take a look at. Please punch the hell out of that red button, the subscribe button, and definitely hit like. And I'll be back again with this week with some streams and some videos over the weekend, and we'll be back together with this playlist in a couple of weeks, I guess. So thank you, Jess. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Take care, guys. See you soon. Bye.